everyone. Welcome to Talking Normal, the post-Comic-Con 2018 edition. If you're joining us from Twitter or Facebook or YouTube or whatever, hello, we'll try to talk to you. Use the hashtag TNSDCC, that's normal San Diego Comic-Con, and we'll talk to you that way. We're excited that you're here. This is going to be a short little hangout, a short podcast if you're listening through the podcast, where we just talk about what happened at Comic-Con, what we loved, what we didn't love, what we're looking forward to in the coming year, between now and next year, and all of the good gossip and goodness that happened. I'm Beth, and I'm having a LaCroix because I also had a Xanax 30 minutes ago, and I can't have alcohol. I'm also having some grapes. But everybody else say hello. Becca, say hi.
Hi, I'm Becca. I'm having a nice red wine because it's been a day, and I'm very excited to be here. And hopefully Katie will pop in a second. She was having some major tech difficulties, but Katie was also part of our crew this year. We got to spend share a hotel room with her for the first time. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about Comic-Con. Jules.
Hi, I'm Julie. I'm drinking a Pellegrino with lime because I just got home a few minutes ago, so I haven't had a chance to crack open a bottle of wine, but cold one. But I'm happy that we're all here together to talk about our adventures, and yeah. Yay!
I'm Nikki. Thanks, Julie. It's a great intro. I am having an Arrowhead sparkling water because that was new at Target and I needed a new flavor from LaCroix. And they haven't put anything new out. Why? They should have a new one out every quarter. But anyway.
Everything is new to me on LaCroix. They're all new. I had pomegranate the other day and I was like, what is this? Or no, it wasn't pomegranate. It was passion.
I was about to say, what?
Passion.
That's not new.
No.
We're all happy about it.
Well, this is raspberry lime. So take that, LaCroix.
I liked how I stopped talking, and when we do this, there's like a little tiny bar where all of our like little pictures and videos are, so we, who's talking pops up or anything. So that's why I went like this, because literally Nikki is like right next to me in this little bar.
Or that little bird that's next to you over your shoulder. That's me.
Decor. If you are tweeting, Beth already told you what to use, but there's also, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a little chat box, and I'm monitoring that, and currently nobody's talking to me. So you can have the floor if you would like to. We'll have a really deep conversation. Ask me all your questions, your relationship drama. I'm happy to answer anything. Or just tell us what you want us to talk about.
Yes, please tell us what you want to hear about, for sure.
I also said we might have like a real quick 2-minute discussion about that Outlander teaser that they dropped 30 minutes ago because they knew we were talking. So get your questions in, or
exactly.
Moments.
We'll talk about that before we wrap. And we also have, for those of you watching us live, we appreciate it. We always do. We also have this through podcast, so you can always listen to it later. We know not everybody can meet us at 5:30 on Pacific time, which is the first time we've ever done it this early. But we do have a giveaway tonight. Should I say what it is? No, Julie says no. We're going to give away the latest book, which is the paperback copy of Diana Gabaldon's 7 Stones to Stand or Fall. This just hot off the press. This just arrived to my home, I think, this weekend, and I would love to ship it out to you. Mostly because I don't want it on my counter anymore. So I will. We'll pick a winner randomly, somebody who's been interacting with us either on the YouTube comments or through Twitter at the end of the combo. So get your questions in, just tweet us, whatever. Say hi, tell us how tired I look. We didn't really talk about an agenda, but I was thinking that it might just be nice to run down how the week went. You want to talk about like our daily things?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can do that. But I don't remember what happened.
Well, we could go to our posts about it. Well, let's talk about, so Comic-Con this year felt very different, I think, because it was such a smaller crew. Normally, for a couple of reasons. We had different hotel rooms. We've normally been in like a house, but this year we actually scored 2 great hotels, so we weren't even all together, which was weird and different. And then also we a lot of our other writers that tend to come and we get to see it come some of the parties or after hours events or go to dinner with weren't there this year. So it felt a lot quieter. We definitely had like more bonding time, just us, but I think that was a little different. It was still a great year, but it did feel very different for me this year anyway.
Yeah, I don't think there were as many like big hashtag copyright TM big moments at Comic-Con. I think some of the studios, you know, they set out the year. Some of the show, Outlander wasn't there. I mean, what were we supposed to do? Clearly, that's the only reason we go to Comic-Con. But
not only was Outlander not there, but Stars wasn't there, which
at all.
Yeah, even when it's not Outlander, we tend to like kind of gravitate to, we go to their party, we get to like hang out with their booth guys, and like none of that was happening. So, you know, that was a little quiet.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
Definitely was. No, and thanks, also
Stars.
Like, yeah, thanks. No, and also, like you guys said, it was like a calmer. And when I say calm, and people who've never been to Comic-Con, please don't think that when I say calm, it just means, oh, there wasn't a lot of people there. No, there were still a lot of people there, but it felt different. I mean, with Stars, along with Stars, Marvel wasn't there this year, even though they were advertising crazy all over Comic-Con, and HBO wasn't there, so no Game of Thrones. So it was definitely it had a different vibe this year than in the past.
Yeah, even like little like random logistical things were changed. Like they did finally close off like the road to cars right in front of the con. Like they only let buses go down, and it was I don't think I ever saw one. So it really changed how things flowed. You had to have a pass to get up near the convention center, which I've never really even thought about what a security risk that was, but you couldn't actually go past a certain point. And that was really, it actually was a great nods to them. I don't usually give them much props for how they run this con, but they did a great job this year with like changing that traffic pattern a little bit. So even just stuff like that, like changed it. Now inside the convention hall, it was insane. I know some you guys went on Sunday. I only went Wednesday night because it was just crazy and I didn't think I could go in. That's not true. I walked in one more time, but was it just as crazy on Sunday? Just as normal?
I don't think so. I mean, I spent probably like 2 hours there, and I went early. So I went for like when the floor was opening. You know, I had to do the whole like spiral where you go up above Ballroom 20 and come back down. And the line was fine. It wasn't like unmanageable or anything like that. And then when I got in, it was the things I wanted to see, I could go see. And the things I, you know, I couldn't. But there was even a couple of places where I lined up to, you know, get some freebies and got those in 5 seconds. It wasn't
wow.
at all. But that was
That's
Sunday.
great.
I mean, that wasn't, you know, the middle of Friday or Saturday or whatever. So that was a little bit different, but it seems to be like all over just kind of like a more chill, more calm con this year.
Right. Except by the time I went to the floor later on that afternoon, the cast of Riverdale was doing a signing right at the same time I entered on. So like literally all of a sudden it was like nice, calm. You could walk, you could talk, you could hear people. And all of a sudden, it was just this mad rush. And there was the entire cast of Riverdale doing a signing. And people were like in the middle taking pictures. And people were screaming, like, keep moving. And I'm just like, I thought this was supposed to be Sunday.
CW?
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Was there a big CW booth? I don't even remember seeing it.
Yeah.
I think, yes, there was. There was one for CW. It was next to, I think, ABC or something.
It was different this year too, because you couldn't get exclusives by standing in line. So there were a lot fewer lines. So if you wanted a signing or you wanted like exclusive Funko Pops or you wanted something else, you had to get in line or you had to do that online before the lottery started. Right. So the lottery just like broke down a lot of like the time people spend in lines. And so I think that worked out really well, at least from my experience. I'm sure there were some crazy lines, but in my experience, from what I saw, there was a lot less of like the horrible security guys screaming, keep it moving, get out of this way kind of thing that we're always having to deal with and like hate. That's my least favorite part. So.
Right. And I think it behooves them because then they actually have panels full of people instead of standing in a line in the middle of an exhibit hall for no reason, you know?
Yeah, I think that probably a lot of those smaller panels were probably a lot more full than they normally would be because of that. And even in places like Hall H, I didn't think were overly full. It seemed like you could get in really easily this year. Unless you were in the Indigo Ballroom. Sorry, anybody who wanted to get into Indigo. Yeah. If you wanted to get into Indigo, I'm sorry that it didn't work out. Apparently
if Katie was here, Katie has emailed us and said she can't get the thing to work, so she's not going to be able to join us. But she stayed in like a longest line, got up early to go to the good place, and like kept thinking that it was going to happen, kept thinking she can get in, and it just did not. And she was so disappointed, as was everybody else in line. But clearly the good place needs a bigger ballroom, bigger room for next year.
So does Brooklyn Nine-Nine. If Brooklyn Nine-Nine comes, or just NBC. Yeah. So NBC, I think, was Indigo Ballroom was their place. If anything, I honestly think they need to step. I don't know if it's necessarily Hall H yet, but I definitely think they need to be in Ballroom 20 for next year.
Right.
So
we have a question from our YouTube chat. We are one person is there. It's Karen, our friend Karen Highland.
Hi, Karen.
She's listening because it's early, and so she's also watching Antiques Roadshow. She told us to hold on a second, but now she has a question, and that is that she wanted to know if we think that there's going to be a lack of big studio presence, if it's going to be a trend.
Yes and no. Like, I think Disney doesn't come at all because they have D23 and they have Star Wars Celebration. So they don't need to debut any of their good stuff at some, inferior con. But I don't know. I think some of the other ones will come back just for,
I think that Marvel will not come because of Infinity Wars, because they can't say who's alive kind of thing.
Yeah, I think they came because of that reason, because there's what else can they say unless they came for Captain Marvel or something. But even then, what can you ask them? Because everyone would be like, what happened?
Right. But also, I nerded it up and I wanted to see when D23 was next year. And D23 is literally a month after Comic-Con next year. So I don't know, Nick, do you think, will Marvel be back next year? Because don't you think they're going to want to really present bigger things at D23 rather than, I don't know, Comic-Con?
I think they might still show up because it's, it's comics, it's Marvel. Obviously, it makes sense for them, but I think they save the big, cool, good stuff for D23.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they're there for Star Wars next year because we'll have... Isn't episode 9 coming out
next
year?
Christmas?
Yeah.
They just announced the cast too for that.
Yeah. So I'm hoping it's there, but who knows? I don't think it's
Celebration.
So we got to see a couple things that I think we were interested in, and we talked about this on the site that we run a site. It's called that's-normal.com. And we also do this thing on the internet. But it was kind of it reminded us of what's so great about Comic-Con is you can go into something or just sit in a panel that you know nothing about because you're waiting for a panel 2 panels from now and see something that you're like, that actually looks really great. They did a great presentation. That personality that's an actor in the show or the actress is awesome. I'm going to totally check that out. And I think there were a couple moments like that. This is a little strange one. I don't remember if I even wrote about this, but we got to see the first episode of Charmed, the reboot, which apparently people were super upset about. I didn't watch the original, but if you like a good CW teen drama, Charmed looks like a really good one. It has very strong female cast. It's very diverse cast. It looked pretty good. I'd probably watch it when I was recovering from strep throat on the couch and binge 12 episodes. That's a pretty decent decent rating for me. But I think we were waiting for a Discovery of Witches when that happened. Is that true?
Yeah, I was we should talk about that because I think a lot of people who read That's Normal.
That was kind of the moment I think that was very Comic-Con-y. We were okay, we're going to be excited about this. We like Teresa Palmer, but then it was boom, this actually looks really good. So
yeah, in contrast to throwing out the Outlander panel, the very first Outlander panel that they did at Comic-Con, the Discovery of Witches panel probably brought in new fans. And it would have probably been better if the lead guy had been there, Matthew Good had been there, but Teresa Palmer was great. And then Alex Kingston, and I can't remember her name. I think her name is Vanessa, who plays, they play Emily and Sarah, who are the Ant Witches. They had the most amazing chemistry. It was really, really fun to watch them play off each other and talk about their characters. They seemed to really enjoy the show. They seemed to really enjoy each other. And then beyond all of that, Deborah Harkness, the author, was fantastic. She was so good at selling not only her story, the thing that she created, but the adaptation itself and how confident she was in it, and not in a condescending or you should like it just because I say so kind of way, but in a smart, thoughtful, kind of all-encompassing way, like, come with me on this journey, you're really going to like it. She was wonderful, and I didn't expect her to be honest. I did not expect to like her, and I was really, really, really impressed with her. So I'm excited about Discovery, which is now, and I wasn't before. And they announced that it was coming to the Sundance Channel, which I don't know that I have, but I'll get so I can watch it.
We'll figure out a way to get it. Yeah. And hopefully they haven't announced a date yet, but hopefully it's going to be the same time that it is coming out in the UK, which is on September 14th, I think.
I really hope, they'll like try to coincide those dates. So you don't have to do some shady shit.
Yeah. I hate when I can't watch it and somebody else can. That drives me insane.
Right. No, but I agree. I really did like her. Her personality was just so welcoming and warm, and not once did you feel like she was talking down to you. In fact, and I think I speak for all of us, we cringe when it comes to the Q&A parts of a panel, because we're just like, you get people who get up there and they kiss ass, or they say things that sound like an inside joke, but nobody's laughing, including the people on the stage. Or you get like little kids who come up and tell Ryan Reynolds Deadpool's their favorite film, and it's awkward. But then this woman got up, and I don't remember her question very well, but it was along the lines of, I've never read your books, but seeing your enthusiasm, all of your enthusiasm, makes me a fan, and I can't wait. And I thought that really had to do, yes, with the cast, but also with the author. The fact that the author, not once did she say, you should all be fans. Why are you should know how this all goes. It was, no, I'm excited just like you're excited. But yeah, she was, of all the people on that panel, she sold me the most on watching the show.
Yeah, and part of it was kind of what you said, Beth, about her talking about the adaptation. She's like, there are going to be people who are pissed off that the baseboards aren't brown. Is that the line she said? Karen reminded me of that.
Yeah.
And of course there are. There always are. There's always that fan. Don't be that fan. And we're that's what we've always preached here. Like, lower your expectations. It's not going to be the book exactly, but it's an adaptation. It should be take the book and make it really great for TV or really great for a movie. And that might mean that they're going to have to change things that you really love about the book. And I think she was like, I totally trust the team behind this, and that's great. And you guys are going to love or hate it, but she sounds like she likes it. So
yeah. And I think it wasn't fan oriented. Like, a lot of times other panels can be like all about the fandom, which is not necessarily bad, but a lot of times it takes the focus off what the actual product is going to be. And this one was all about the show and what the product was going to be. And that was refreshing, I thought, because I didn't want to talk about what are your expectations from the fans, which was like a very small part of what they were talking about, but it wasn't the whole thing. And that was way more useful in selling the show.
Yeah. And it might be smart on their part, because not everyone's a reader who goes into this. And if they're smart people, they want more than people who have read the book to like the show.
Yeah,
totally.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. I think when I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is like the definition of when people talk about a chemistry read, when they like bring actors in, they're like, let's do a chemistry read and like see who goes together. And like when Alex Kingston and Valerie Pettiford, I believe her name was, like, we're just chatting, I was like, oh my God, like, this is what they're talking about. Because they were so interested in each other and so interested in sharing about what they had done. I was like, oh, this is so amazing. Like, really brought you in.
Yeah.
But
so watch Discovery Witches when it comes out. You guys are not
we'll be talking about it
at all. We will definitely be talking about it. Another show that I had a Comic-Con moment for was Castle Rock. We went into Ballroom 20.
Me too.
Yeah, not really kind of knowing what we were doing in Ballroom 20 that day. And they showed the whole first episode of Castle Rock, which I thought was like an actual short story of Stephen King's that they were adapting and just adding more stuff to, but it's not, just based on characters. And it's really great. The show's really great. The first 3 episodes have dropped already on Hulu, and my husband and I've watched them more than once. My daughter watched that. It's such a good show, and it's just going to get better, and you should all be watching it. That one was excellent.
I do have a quick question for you. What did you think of John Krasinski being everywhere at Comic-Con, but not actually at Comic-Con? Did you have an opinion about that?
My opinion was I was very, very mad. It was ridiculous. I mean, I realized that like that's up to Amazon to bring him and like get him there, but he was literally everywhere.
Yeah,
and
like the biggest sign. I think the biggest. I mean, we talk sign. We mean like a 50-story hotel was covered in John Krasinski. And
you could see John Krasinski's face when you flew into San Diego. And
and he was the inside of the ticket box.
Yeah, yes. You got your badge, and the first thing you saw was John Krasinski's face. You got on the floor, you see John Krasinski's face, and The huge like outdoor Amazon Prime Jack Ryan experience took up like a whole city block. Yeah. And yet there was no John Krasinski.
Yeah.
It was it was my biggest disappointment. He totally should have been there. No one's going to watch that show. Just having his face out there is not going to be like selling Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
He should have been there. Number one, he can sell anything. He can sell me insurance, and I don't need insurance. So he can sell anything. He has the best personality of any actor ever. Put him on a stage. I don't understand how they did not bring his ass there. Ridiculous.
I just thought you might have an opinion about it.
That was my opinion. My opinion was major ball drop. Major ball drop.
Okay, we promise this will be a short chat, but we do have a couple things to cover. One of them being Vikings. We don't have anything to say because we weren't there, but Katie was, and she did write. Post. Yeah, she wrote about it. So make sure you go to that's-normal.com. Julie?
And she got up really early, very early. So please read her post because honestly, she has a costume. And she sneaks out like a ninja.
Yeah, we didn't hear her.
Knew she left.
Yeah, we didn't know she was gone. But yeah, it's a bummer that she can't be here to talk about it because obviously Katie is our Vikings expert. And then the other thing I think we should mention is WB because it was probably the biggest Hall H panel we sat through, and we have a good question about it. So if you didn't see our coverage or you heard about it, Warner Brothers did a really cool thing. I mean, it was, they took over all of Hall H. They started with Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald.
Grindelwald,
right?
yeah.
Grindelwald. And yeah, whatever. Voldemort. Eddie Redmayne was there and he was like leading the audience like an orchestra with his wand, and like we had these things on our wrists that lit it up, and it was awesome. And the big controversial thing that happened is that Johnny Depp was there. And so somebody, Andrea here on the chat on YouTube, wanted us to know if we had any thoughts on him being embraced or rejected at the con. So I thought we should talk about that.
I thought when they brought Eddie Redmayne came out and said, let's bring the cast out. They bring the cast out. No Johnny Depp. I was like, okay, they probably made a smart choice. It might have been awkward if he came out and people booed, whatever. Then they like do this thing where he comes out like Loki style from Marvel panel like 2 years ago. Full costume, full makeup, wig. He comes out and does like a monologue, does a spell, and turns around and leaves. And I was like, what the hell just happened? I mean, it was really cool how it looked. He looked great, but it was also like, it's just tainted, It just feels like you can't enjoy it because he's so problematic. Like, and then Amber Heard came out for Aquaman, and that was awkward too.
I think it's the only thing they could have done. Like, they can't ignore, like, it probably was the smartest decision. I think ignoring it is just like a big elephant in the room. He's in the film. He's a huge part of it.
He's the title character. Like, that's the thing. Like, they made the choice to cast him, so now they have to use him to promote the show. And I thought it was actually really smart to not have Johnny Depp come out and promote the movie, but have Grindelwald come out and promote the movie. And then, it's problematic, but I think I read a bunch of people on Twitter were saying how everybody booed when Grindelwald came up on screen for the trailer, but then they cheered when Johnny Depp came out as him. And I think that just depended on where you were in Hall H. That is not necessarily what happened. And I think that everybody's emotions about that, if they know anything about what Johnny Depp did to Amber Heard, is just, it's mixed. So
it is. But the best thing, though, was if you've ever been into Hall H, there is constant noise. There's just constant talking and noise. Or when he was doing his monologue, you could hear a pin drop in that hall. That's how quiet everybody got. And when he left, people did cheer. When he appeared, people cheered.
Yeah.
So booing, I don't remember anybody really booing his character. But I do remember.
No, I think it was shocking. People were like,
when he walked out. When he walked out, everybody got excited, I think.
We were there early because Warner Brothers was the first panel. Yeah, it was, right, of that day. Mm-hmm. So we got there at a decent enough time early to get into the press pit where we get to go. And we they wouldn't let us go up to the stage, which they always do. And like, you're by the side where the actors come out, and we were just like, why aren't we able to go up there? And the whole entire time they had security there, and we thought there was going to be fire, which would have been so dangerous. I don't know why we thought there was going to be fire. We would have burned. And then As soon as he was off stage, we were allowed to push up. So it was for him. So it's so weird. Like we would have been really close to him, but also like, were we not allowed to be? Is that like in his contract? So it's a little behind the scenes of drama at Comic-Con. There was some reason why we could not be near Johnny Depp.
Yeah, only Johnny Depp. We can reach out and like touch Chris Pratt, but we can't like be near Johnny Depp.
Right.
I was super close to Nick Johnson's iPhone, apparently. When you could
why you got your AirDrop on Nick Johnson?
God,
Open to anybody.
No, the fact that you name it Nick Johnson's iPhone and not like a name. Like, come on, Nick Johnson.
We sent him 10 nudes in 1 minute. He accepted all of them.
They quickly undressed. I saw it.
Yeah. No, they were saved on our phone already. I have a file. I have a file of Becca's nudes on my phone.
Hey, don't say that. We do have a couple people who have joined us in the YouTube comments. So I want to get to them because they're asking about Outlander. However, let's first talk about out of the WB things we saw, because it's probably the biggest stuff we saw at Comic-Con, right? What is everybody most excited about?
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman. That was fantastic. And they showed a clip, and I think everybody has talked about this clip now. But the clip was like set in a 1980s mall, just like Stranger Things.
Right. Malls are hot right now.
Malls, 1980s malls are hot. It was a fantastic clip. Gal Gadot is still amazing looking. So we're all just ready.
And I think that clip hasn't, I mean, maybe it leaked. I'm sure some asshole put it on the internet, but like that, they've shot 3.5 weeks so far, which means they've only shot that scene and they got to show us something from it. And I think that is what's the magic of Comic-Con. They actually did the right thing. They showed something exclusive to Comic-Con that's probably never going to be seen otherwise. And it was great. It was exactly what wasn't perfect. It was great.
Right.
Yeah.
I was also excited after not necessarily the trailer for Aquaman, because we all agreed it was kind of lame, but I was actually more excited after we saw that clip. I was like, okay. Because I think I'm just excited about Jason Momoa just playing Jason Momoa. Because that's truly like, I don't think he had a script. I think he just arrived to set and go, what would you say? All right, do that.
God. It looks so bad, you guys.
I think it looks terrible. Okay. I have no desire to see that.
So much jewelry. It's amazing. So many rings.
I mean, the Ariel wig I wore to Comic-Con like 4 years ago was literally the one they borrowed.
You're right.
Her.
It was exactly
so bad.
They pulled it out of the trash after you threw it out.
Oh, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. All right, we have to wrap soon. So let's talk about Outlander. We're totally getting off Comic-Con. Comic-Con was great. You guys should all come with us next year. We the best part was probably our team dinner on Friday night because it was delicious. And anyway, Comic-Con was great. So. Also, 10 minutes ago, hour ago, they dropped us the Outlander teaser that Sam introduced to a group of fans.
That is totally different movie premiere.
He's a B-list character.
He's not even listed as a lead character.
Fourth billing. He has fourth billing on that.
Okay.
Maybe fifth under Gillian Anderson. But like, I don't know. I mean, the trailer looks great. It makes season 4 look pretty good. Not really any different than any of the other seasons. It doesn't look, I mean, the first season is its own thing, but then like this, I don't know. It doesn't look any different than season 3 to me. I don't know.
No, I mean, there wasn't anything stand out.
No.
Right. It's Jamie and Claire in the woods.
Right. In the woods, like that aren't as pretty. I mean, we're now in America. America sucks compared to Scotland. So like the scenery just, you remember, like that's the stuff they used to tease us, this gorgeous, beautiful, like scenery and these beautiful heather fields, Nikki's favorite thing ever. And I think, okay, we're in the woods and basically what looks like my backyard growing up.
Yeah.
It was your backyard growing up. That was exactly what they filmed it.
It's more my backyard. They're in the South. Let's be real.
That's true.
I mean, it was nice, but honestly, I watched it half an hour ago, and I can tell you probably 2 things I saw in there, and then I was like, okay.
Well, somebody on a group chat said something about the tooth. Why was that? Why?
Yeah. All I remember from the teaser is silver fillings, and I was like, oh God, is this going to be the crux with which the entire damn story arc hinges on?
Because we're at the point now where you definitely haven't read it. I can't remember the story, but I think I read it. Beth is currently reading it.
No, I'm not reading it, but it's a good time to announce that we're all going to read it together. All right. We're now announcing the new season of In the Water Weeds. If you were with us last year, we sat and we took Voyager and we read it in sections and we got together and we hung out and we talked about each section, and we're doing it now with Drums of Autumn. Get ready. In 1 month. I haven't decided the date yet because I haven't gone through the pieces and how it needs to be broken up, but we're doing it. We're all going to read Drums of Autumn right before the show drops. So, and just get ready.
We will also
Silver about.
Yeah, we're going to know about, and we're going to also share that like recap website from Reddit we found last time we did In the Water Weeds, so that those of us who don't read it can at least read the Reddit forum and get caught up on the book.
Or the Outlander book forum that
that might be what it is, right?
That I joined in 2009.
Right, that one.
So excited.
Yeah. Of course we're going to cover it, you guys. You know that this is our, we can't quit you, Outlander.
And we won't quit it for the next 3 years.
I wish we could be Terry. I wish we could just say, sayonara.
Terry, this shit.
Terry's like, give me back my fashion place. It's time to go.
Someone else can do all the
the drawing.
The drawing. Yeah, that's it. Some burns on a Monday night.
All right.
So, all right, we got to pick a winner. Is there anybody on Twitter? Because there's a couple people on YouTube, including one of Beth's children. I assume I know which one it is. But
yes, goodness.
Yeah.
Is there a giraffe on there? Because that's
I think so. I can't see it.
Jamie talked to us. Jamie Campbell. Jamie's Rule at Jamie's Rule, and on Twitter.
We have a couple people. I mean, I want to give it to. I feel like I'm sure that this person has this book. I'm not going to give it to Karen. Diane Anderson, do you have a copy of this book? Because I will give it to you as our winner, if not. So if you're still watching, because you were, please shoot us an email at admin@thats-normal.com or send us a tweet and we will get your address, although I think we have it because I think you've won things before because you are just a dedicated watcher. So thank you. But we'd love to give you this book. Actually, spoiler, I have a hard copy I can send your way.
If you'd rather with the hard copy.
Right. All right.
That's it, guys.
Yeah, we've got some cool content coming out from Comic-Con soon. Our video gal is editing it as we speak. Really cool interviews we have with authors and Discovery of Witches, Man in the High Castle we didn't get to today. So, you know where to find us. Find us on the interwebs. We'll be chatting about this and sending that over the next couple weeks.
Yeah, and keep a lookout for In the Water Weeds news.
Yay!
For that.
Very exciting.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.